The SCO meet in Samarkand, Uzbekistan is currently underway. The heads of member states are currently in Samarkand in Uzbekistan for the SCO Summit this year. So far, we've also seen a number of key bilaterals being held between member states and their heads. Currently, the meeting of the SCO Summit in Samarkand is underway. You can see the visuals on your screens right now coming in from Uzbek city of Samarkand. It's day 2 of the SCO Summit in Samarkand today. This is where the main meeting is happening currently. The leaders of the 8-nation Shanghai Cooperation Summit, that is Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chinese President Xi Jinping, Russian President Vladimir Putin, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, Uzbek President Shavkat Mirziyoyev, and leaders of other Central Asian countries, they've gathered for the main meeting on the second day of the Shanghai Cooperation Summit. The talks between the SCO leaders are currently underway, and on the agenda are discussions on topical, regional and international issues including regional peace, security, trade, connectivity. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who arrived in Samarkand on Thursday, will also be holding key bilaterals with Iranian, Uzbek and Russian leaders. The Indian Prime Minister today is all set to discuss issues of strategic ability, situation in India-Pacific and bilateral cooperation within the United Nations and the G20. This is day 2 of the SCO Summit. Meanwhile, on day 1 of the SCO Summit, we did see some crucial key bilaterals taking place, starting with the bilateral between the Chinese President and his Russian counterpart. And on day 2 of the Shanghai Cooperation Summit, the leaders of 8-nation Shanghai Cooperation Summit, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chinese President, Russian President, Pakistan Prime Minister and Uzbek President, and also leaders of other Central Asian countries, they have gathered for the main meet that is currently underway in Samarkand. As I mentioned earlier, on the agenda are discussions on topical, regional and international issues. It's day 2 of the Shanghai Cooperation Summit, and world leaders, they have arrived at Samarkand in Uzbekistan for the meet. The leaders of the 8-nation Shanghai Cooperation Summit. This includes, as you can see in the visuals, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Chinese President Xi Jinping, Vladimir Putin, from Russian President Vladimir Putin, Pakistan Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif and Uzbek President, and leaders of other Central Asian nations, all gathered for a meeting, all under the same roof. The talks between the SCO leaders are currently underway. The leaders are all set to have discussions on regional and international issues, regional peace, security, trade and connectivity to be on the agenda as well. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Samarkand on Thursday and will be holding key bilaterals with Iranian, Uzbek and Russian leaders. The Indian Prime Minister will be focusing on issues of strategic ability, situation in the Asia-Pacific and bilateral cooperation within the United Nations and G20. Now, for more on this, our principal diplomatic correspondent Siddhant Sibal joined us earlier from Samarkand. Let's listen in.
The summit has started. In fact, I'm standing just in front of the Congress Hall where the leaders are present right now, the SCO leaders, and holding the summit. In fact, I can ask my camera person Ajit to show you the Congress Hall where the summit is underway. This is the place where the leaders of the 8 SCO countries, member countries, are present inside and holding conversations. The restricted talks, we saw the family photo just a few minutes ago. In fact, just 15 minutes ago, where the leaders of India, China, Russia and Pakistan along with Central Asian countries were present. We saw the opening statement by the Uzbek president also, who talked about counter-terrorism and the need for grouping to come together to deal with global and regional challenges. But of course, whatever happens here today in Samarkand impacts the world, and the West of course closely watching the developments. The Samarkand document, the joint statement is something that will be closely watched and read as well. We know that this is a grouping which is seen as an anti-West grouping, but largely for Russia and China, this is a grouping that provides a dimension to the new world order, a new dimension which is, of course, not dominated by the West. So whatever happens in that building behind me is something that defines the global world order.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.